Tacoma Public Utilities HVAC well A. We are zeroed right to the top of the flange in the vault below grade. Camera's kind of bouncing around a little bit. Heading in to take a look after the cleanout effort. Casing's got some texture to it, but some pitting, not terrible. Loose scale's been brushed off, that was the goal. Whee! I don't like this particular cable.
Got some twist to it, huh?
Yeah. 18.3 for static. And I got a big bubble on the lens here.
Want to pull it up and down?
I'll just get a little bit lower and then bounce it real quick. So the Kevlar in this isn't a braid, it's a spiral wrap. That's why it was cheap. So I've been brushed, knocked the big chunks off, which is really all I wanted to do. No point in shining it up too much. Scale's a little heavier at 47. But again, it's not hurting anything. Let's see what the side looks like. It's not terribly pitted. Doesn't look too bad. And there's the top of our screen right there. Yeah, a pretty good step right there.
That's interesting. Not a cone at all.
No, it's a step.
Yeah.
It looks like two thicknesses and then a weld ring. And there's a little bit of vertical separation there. Of course, I'm going to zoom right in, spin around and look at some, a little further field. So
okay, so it's got a
1, 2, 3.
Yeah. Interesting.
1, 2, 3, yeah. So there's a little bit of a taper, but it's kind of like a fabricated taper by just rolling bar stock.
So they ran the 24-inch with this screen on the bottom of it, and then pulled the 30-inch back to expose it.
I think so, yeah. I think it was a gun barrel construction. Let me see, we've got the...
I was wondering what that 30 was there for.
Yeah, they took 30 to 63, and then they built it with the 24-inch liner.
Okay, interesting.
I guess when you're comfortable drilling 30-inch pipe, no problem. Because everybody drills that now.
Yeah, right?
Right. It's soft metal, seen some bumps and thumps, but everything looks like it's where it ought to be. More importantly, how's that look? The rods I see are all still straight. Should be able to focus on that better. Come on. Nope. That's not too bad. It's a lot better than it did. I can see through it.
Yeah. Some zones aren't as good as I'd like to see them, but...
A lot of that stuff that's just settled out.
Yeah.
And I'm not seeing any serious blockage. That's this little fluff that's settling down.
Mm-hmm. Hey, gravel.
Yeah, look at there. Golf ball sized and better. What is that, like 150 slot screen? I think it is. It's big.
Yeah.
It's just 100 slot. Only 100 slot.
Only.
Weak sauce. It looks a lot better than it did, Pierce. A little frustrating that we only got to half of where we were, but
Yeah.
a lot better than where they started, though.
I like the big screens because then you can actually see what you did.
Mm-hmm. See right through them. I think I looked at a 250 slot well the other week.
Oh,
Right off the South Fork of the Snoqualmie. Plenty of big gravel there. Okay, so there's our weld.
South Fork, it's nice to go up in North Bend.
Mm-hmm. South side of the highway at North Bend. They're just big weld rings.
Yeah.
I don't know that they step in much, but it does
Sure.
look like the rods end on it.
Yeah.
So maybe they do step in more than I'm thinking. It's hard to tell from this point of
It
view.
didn't feel like it stepped in for the weld ring. Because,
Yeah.
I mean, even at the end there, I could feel it go through that weld ring.
Yeah,
The surge
okay.
blocks.
Okay.
But on the other side, it got, just like the rest of it.
All right. Yeah. So, and it's, if you look, there's a little gap in the middle. So I just don't know how the welds work. I don't know if there's a lip there. I
Yeah.
mean, we're landing on something, right?
Right. Maybe they're just soldered into a groove.
Possibly. I don't know if I'm going to be able to
Because I don't
see
think
anything.
is the weld ring brass or probably.
Yeah, it's all bronze.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not going to see it with the field of view I have, but you can see kind of the stuff's landing on that weld ring,
Yeah.
and it's coming inside the inside the rods. So yeah, you can see there's even a taper worn on that, but there's stuff inside the rod. So yeah, absolutely, it's probably a 1/4 inch tighter than the actual screen. And
which makes swabbing it really easy.
Oh sure. You know where you're at the weld ring, man. I mean, what do you?
Well, and your swab discs are sized for your weld rings instead of your slots.
Yeah, it'd be all right. Not seeing any blockage at all. Not like it was.
So with it.
82.6.
How do we have 3 feet of stuff in the bottom? That doesn't make any sense to me. Where's the top of that screen? 62.6.
62.6 with slots. So I mean, this is pretty well spot on. You've got. I'm actually at 83 because 82.6 is the center of my side look.
Yeah.
So you're probably looking at 1.5 feet of fluff, 2 feet of fluff in there.
Wow.
And
I swabbed it. I put a bunch of long swabs when I chlorinated right at the end. I wonder if I went back and double checked my depths and everything. I thought I had
Oh,
it right. But...
tools will sink right into that.
Yeah. Okay.
And you're gonna go poof, and it's gonna be all flocked up in
Yeah.
the water
Yeah,
column.
Yeah.
Really, the only way to clean these out is get them
Airlift
all the
it
way
out.
clean to the bottom is an airlift,
Yeah.
and I don't know that that's necessary here.
Yeah.
I mean, with the depth of water of 18 feet, if you set a ditch pump in there, you could suction lift it.
Yeah.
With a QRS of 300 feet, you could absolutely suction lift it and blow it out and clean it out. But you'd need to run the lift side with the hoist and the discharge. It'd have to be out. It'd be complicated.
Yeah.
But I don't see any blockage of the screen at all. Just
Yeah.
a little bit of stuff that's settled out,
Yeah.
resting on it. But the screen looks a lot better than it did. So I could demonstrate that I can absolutely sink right into this, but that'll block my down-looking lens. So looks good to me. I don't see any damage to the screen. That was my main concern with Everdur. All the wires appear to be straight and in the right places. The rest of what I'm looking at is just lightweight stuff that's settled out. Are they using this as injection or source?
They're swapping it.
Okay. I would run it as a source well first, and I would pump to waste to clear its throat.
Okay.
Probably going to take half an hour. And
yeah, it was pretty clear when we were pumping it last. But
there's going to be a pulse of garbage at first.
Yeah.
And
especially with all the chlorine that was in there.
right. So definitely want to pump it to waste, and then it should be good to go.
What their injection pipe is just airdropping it from 3 feet.
Yeah,
Have you guys had noticed any difference?
we suggested very strongly that they don't do that. This well is kind of tough because of the way it's set up. But if they had a proper downcomer and they injected below the static water level, it would be a lot less oxygenation and a lot less aeration and bacterial growth.
Right.
They did the same thing at the well over there, and they basically plugged it completely to where a garden hose made the well overflow. And we came in to video it. So, yeah, there's been discussion about using a downcomer and maybe even a downhole throttle. So they figured out their injection rate and then use an orifice at the bottom to where they've actually got to inject it a little bit of pressure to overcome that orifice to get the right flow rate. Yeah, so I'm within a tenth or two on my depths on the way out, so I don't think I lost any.
I didn't do a depth after everything was out, so.
Well, you're never ever going to get that bottom foot and a half.
Well, there's no sump to work with either.
Right, you're working in a screen, that makes it hard, and a baler, just by virtue of the baler dropping down the well, it's going to be a piston, it's going to displace all that stuff. You go, I measured right to the bottom. Let it sit for half an hour and you might get a teacup in the bottom of the baler just because the operation of the baler is so rough.
Yeah.
So I don't think we're, with the tools we brought to bear, I think you did all you could do.
Yeah. But I just want
And then you got to hoover out that last foot.
Yeah.
I mean, up at Redmond, that's
That's
one of the few wells I've actually seen the bail bottom on the bottom of the screen after a clean out. And every other one I've seen that's been airlifted clean. Bill's done it, Dave's done it.
Yeah.
Randy's guys don't do airlift.
Yeah, the airlift works really well. That and this is the problem with this site is like dealing with the water.
Exactly.
Is the issue.
Yeah, airlift is great. It just moves a lot of water too.
Yeah.
off just a little bit on total depth, not even half a foot.
Yeah.
So this concludes the post cleanout scan of HVAC well A, Tacoma.